Ladies and gentlemen, this country does what it does. And, you know, they stole the cancer cells right out of Henrietta Lacks's body, a woman that was literally dying. They seized that opportunity to rob her of her cancer cells. Didn't get any consent from her or the family. They wanna steal everything from us, including the things that come out of our bodies. So, they want to give her the highest award that a citizen can receive. It's that junky Congressional Gold Medal. Now, can somebody please tell me what the hell is her family gonna do with a gold medal? How about compensating the family over the use of her cancer cells, which have been used worldwide, by the way? This is why they are being sued by her family. But what is her family going to do with a gold medal? Oh boy. Here we go with the symbolism, y'all. Leaders of the Congressional Black Caucus. See, anytime when they want to do a bunch of nothing for you, notice how they can all of a sudden surface. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump and the family of Henrietta Lacks, whose cells, known as HeLa cells, were stolen and harvested without her consent in the 1950s, calls for Lacks to be honored by the Congressional Black Caucus and receive the Congressional Gold Medal for her contribution to science and medicine. Yeah, well, that contribution was against her will. The award is one of the most prestigious that a citizen can receive from Congress. Well, her family's receiving it. She's never going to receive that medal. She's dead and has been given to a few. They said less than 200 people have this medal. If you remember, they gave this same junkie medal to Emmett Till's family. They'll give them a medal, but won't give them justice. What we're attempting to do today is make sure her passing is not forgotten. It's not buried, but rather held high for the nation to be able to look at and see her daughter. They want her to be seen as a daughter of America. So you steal and rob her when she's in a state of dying. And that's how you treat a daughter of America? Sounds pretty lame to me. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, boy. So they had a press conference over this, y'all. And Kwasi Mfume of Maryland said during the press conference at the Capitol on Wednesday that he plans to formally introduce the bill on the House floor. Won't introduce a bill for reparations, but for some gold medal. Lax's cells were the first human cells to multiply outside the body. Her unknowing contribution to medicine has played a vital role in the polio vaccine, cloning, in vitro fertilization, gene mapping, and much more. It's not surprising at all that it was a strong Black woman who would be able to have cells strong enough that would generate outside of the human body. Crump, who in 2021 filed a lawsuit against a biotech company that allegedly sold, mass produced the tissue taken from Lack's body, said at a presser, Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, Texas, says acknowledgement of Lax's contribution to medicine is long overdue. Well, you need to acknowledge that these folks stole from her. So, anyway, the work she did through her own incredible cells, she did that work. She changed lives. She allowed me to get, she's talking about that jab scene, which might have kept me from losing my life. This is what Lee said. Well, then make sure you compensate the family financially, not give them a gold medal that they can't do anything with. Lax was a mother of 5 children. She was diagnosed with cervical cancer in 1951 after a visit to Johns Hopkins University, the hospital that stole her cells. One of the few hospitals that treated poor blacks during the 1950s. They did not treat her for cervical cancer, they butchered her. They put her on radiation rods, they put them inside of her, and they stole her cells. This is what Crump said. During her visit, a sample of her cancer cells were stolen and sent to a research lab where doctors discovered Lax's cells were unique. They are super aggressive cells, adding that they were historic because they were the first cells that actually lived and multiplied and kept being alive beyond time, a time frame where you would think cells would die. Her cells went way beyond that. So, a year after her cells were taken, Lax died from cervical cancer at the age of 31. But over the past 7 decades, her cells continue to multiply and impact healthcare. So this one woman's cell literally, she literally changed all of medical science. But these demons are so evil, they won't compensate her family. And I had read after her death, her family struggled bad financially. She was poor. And back in those times with 5 kids, yeah, they said they struggled very badly financially after she died. Mm-mm-mm. So they said these cells act in the same aggressiveness in which the cancer killed Henrietta Lacks, made these cells easier to grow in a culture situation. Every 24 hours, Lax's cells regenerate and been regenerating for 7 decades, y'all. Wow. So anyway, so every 24 hours, her cells to this very day keep regenerating, according to Ben Crump, and they have contributed to research for drugs used to treat cancer, HIV, hemophilia, leukemia, and Parkinson's disease. Henrietta Lacks's life, death, body, cells, and stories has affected just about every person on the planet since the 1950s. If you had taken medication or had a jab, a treatment for cancer, IV, have you ever had an IV drip? HIV, ever had IVF, which many of these women get to try to get pregnant? Anything like that, it has been tested on Henrietta Lacks's cells. Mm, mm, mm. Advocates say experiences like that of Lacks explains the high degree of distrust in the medical system among minority groups. According to Robert A. Wynn, Diversity in Clinical Trials Award Program, 80% of individuals involved in clinical trials are white. The white people constitute just 58% of the US population. Experts say the lack of diversity in trials is due to the mistrust of the medical system by many underrepresented minority populations in the United States. And there's historic events that have caused this situation. In 1951, the medical racism ran rapid in America, whether it was victims of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, whether it was women who suffered the Mississippi appendectomy, like Fannie Lou Hamer. Crump explained Wednesday that it is necessary that Lack's contributions are recognized, and they have been. And many of us have done videos on her and spoke about her over the years. I think many of us have online. And I mean, her contribution is so big. As far as I'm concerned, the entire planet should be paying reparations, especially if you work in a medical facility that used her cell. Every last one of them should be giving the family something. And I'm not talking about a medal. I'm talking about financial restitution. So, I know their lawsuit is out there, and I pray they do win their case and be compensated billions as far as I'm concerned, and even beyond that amount. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.